my prayer. While I wait, please keep me focused. Heal me when my heart is broken. Fight against temptation boldly. Father, you're the one and only. Heal the land, oh give us peace. Heal the land, oh give us freedom. Take my hand and walk me through. I pray I make it to the kingdom. Mercy on me, mercy, mercy on me. Grace and love give off peace. Father, mercy on me. Don't forget me. Don't forget me. In my bed, in my bed.
Peace, 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 brothers and sisters, and welcome to another Sabbath reading on this beautiful day that the Lord has made. I am your brother Vinny D, and hopefully, uh, we all had a promising week, and this well, because I know that this rest day is well deserved. Also, I would like to wish you, most of us who celebrated Tabernacles, a happy belated Tabernacles. If you guys celebrated already, or if you're going to be celebrating this up and coming week, which I know a few people do, then a happy Tabernacles to you as well. I missed last week because we were up in the in at Lake Collins, up in the Sacramento area, and I had a good time with the brother BA and also the sister Ashanti and her family, and also the congregation Rehoboth, who I actually congregate with down here in the Bay Area. We all had a beautiful time fishing and camping out and just pretty much hanging out. And praise y'all for that. Well, anyway, guys, welcome back. This is part 12 of our reading, going through the Torah, or actually the five books, um, or actually just the instructions mainly. We started off in Exodus 20 with the 10 commandments, or the 10 matters, um, and then now we are all the way at Deuteronomy 5. So we have worked our way to 12 portions of this reading that we've been having throughout these past few weeks, and now we will start at Deuteronomy 5. So everybody, yeah, go ahead and get your Bibles out, or you can follow along on the screen. And hopes that you guys have a wonderful day. Well, anyway, this is Deuteronomy 5 and verse 1. It's now begin. It says, "And Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us who are all of us here alive this day. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount, out of the midst of the fire. I stood between the Lord and you at that time to show the word of the Lord. For you were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt make Thou shalt not make thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself upon them unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children of the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of the cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as you. And remember that you were a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee out thence through with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, neither shalt thou commit adultery, neither shalt thou steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou desire uh, excuse me, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, or his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness with a great voice, and he added no more. And he wrote them on 2 tables of stones and delivered them unto me. And it came to pass when ye heard the voice out of the midst of darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, that ye came near unto me, even all the heads of your tribes and your elders, and ye said, Behold, the Lord our God hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that God doth talk with man, and he liveth. Now therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of the Lord our God any more, then we shall die. For who is there of all the flesh that have heard the voice of the living God speaking out of the midst of the fire as we have, and lived? And go thou near and hear all that the Lord thy God shall say, and speak thou unto us all that the Lord our God shall speak unto thee, and we will hear it and do it. And the Lord heard the voice of your words. Then when you spoke to me, when you spoke unto me, and the Lord said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto thee. They have said well that they have spoken. Oh, that there were such a heart in them, that they would fear me and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever. Go say to them, Get you into your tents again. But as for thee, stand thou here by me, and I will speak unto thee all the commandments, and the statutes, and the judgments which thou shalt teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. Ye shall observe to do therefore as the Lord your God hath commanded you. Ye shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left. Ye shall walk in all the ways which the Lord thy God hath commanded you, that ye may live, and that it may be well with you, that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess. Chapter 6. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye may do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mayest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments which I commanded thee, thou and thy son and thy son's sons, on all the days of your life, and that the days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord your God of your fathers have promised in the land which floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto the children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on the gates. And it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee into the land which he swore unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of good things which thou fieldest not, and wells digged which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantedest not, and thou shalt have eaten and be full. Then beware lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt and from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other gods of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God as ye tempted him in Massah. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and his testimonies and his statutes, which he hath commanded you. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may be well with thee, and that thou may goest in and possess the good land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all the enemies from before thee, as the Lord hath spoken. And when the son asked thee in time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord our God hath commanded you? Then you shall say unto your son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Lord showed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in to give us the land which he swore to our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is to this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, which he hath commanded us. Chapter 7. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgasites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them, and shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give to his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn thy son away from following me, that they may serve other gods. And so will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy you suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, but because the Lord God loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the house of bondmen and from the hand of Pharaoh. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the merciful God, which keepeth covenant, and the faithful God. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Deuteronomy 7:9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to them that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and judgments which I command thee this day, to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he swore unto thy fathers. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, and the corn, and the wine, and thine oil, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he swore unto thy fathers to give thee. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall be no male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. And the Lord will take away from all the sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their God, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto thee. If thou shalt say in thine heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt, the great temptations which thine eyes saw, and the signs, and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord thy God brought thee out. So shall the Lord thy God do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid. Moreover, the Lord thy God will send a hornet among them until they are left, and hide themselves from thee, and be destroyed. And thou shalt not be affrighted at them, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty God and terrible. And the Lord thy God will put out these nations before thee by little and little. Thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. But the Lord thy God shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. And he shall deliver their kings into your hands, and thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven. There shall be no man, there shall no man be able to stand before thee until thou have destroyed them. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. Chapter 8. All the commandments which I commanded thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou would keepest his commandments or no. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live. Thy raiment waxed not old upon thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Thou shalt also consider in thine heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thy God chasteneth thee. Therefore thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways and fear him. For the Lord thy God bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out the valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of oil, olive, and honey, a land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness. Thou shalt not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of those hills, and out of whose hills thou mayest dig brass. When thou hast eaten and art full, then thou shalt bless the Lord thy God for the good land which he hath given thee. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God in keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all thou hast is multiplied, then thine heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led thee through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint, who fed thee in the wilderness with manna, which thy fathers knewest not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee to do thee good at thy latter end. And thou shalt say in thy heart, my power and my might of mine hand hath gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. And it shall be, if thou do all at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish. As the nations which the Lord destroyeth before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye would not be obedient unto the voice of the Lord your God. Chapter 9. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go and to possess the nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven, a people great and tall, and the children of the Anakims, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Understand therefore this day that the Lord thy God is he which goeth over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out and destroy them quickly, as the Lord hath said unto thee. Speak not thou in thine heart after that the Lord thy God hath cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness the Lord hath brought me in to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations the Lord doth drive them out from before thee. Not for thy righteousness or for thine uprightness of thine heart dost thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations the Lord thy God hath drove them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand therefore that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff necked people. Remember and forget not how thou provokest the Lord and thy God to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt until ye came into this place. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord. Also in Horeb ye provoked the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you. When I was going up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Lord had made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. And the Lord delivered me two tables of stone written with the finger of God, and on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in that day of the assembly. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days and the 40 nights that the Lord gave me the two tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And the Lord said unto me, arise, get ye down quickly from hence, for the people which thou hast brought out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, the Lord spake to me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff necked people. Let me alone that I may destroy them and blot out their name from under heaven, and I will make of thee a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and I came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire, and the two tables of the covenant were in my two hands. And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Lord your God, and had made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Lord hath commanded you. And I took the two tables and cast them out of my two hands and brake them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Lord as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water because of all the sins which ye sinned in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure wherewith the Lord was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also at the same time. And I took your sin, the calf which you had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended out of the mount. And the Tabereth, and at Tabereth, and at Massa, and at Kirubroth Hatava, ye provoked the Lord to wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then ye rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and ye believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. You have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord had said that he would destroy you. I prayed therefore unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, destroy not thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence thou broughtest us out say, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land which he had promised them, and because he had hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet yet they are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by thy mighty power and by thy stretched out arm. Chapter 10. At that time the Lord said unto me, Hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up to me in the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed the 2 tables of stone like the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tables in mine hand. And he wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments which the Lord spake unto you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. And the Lord gave them unto me. And I turned myself and came down from the mount and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there they be, as the Lord commanded me. And the children of Israel took their journey from Barak, of the children of Jachin and Mosera, where there Aaron died, and there he was buried. And Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his stead. From thence they journeyed to Gulgadah, and from Gudgadah to Jotbath, the land of rivers and waters. And at that time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless his name unto this day. Wherefore Levi hath no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according to as the Lord thy God promised him. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also, and the Lord would not destroy thee. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go and possess the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. And now, Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee but to fear the Lord God and walk in his ways, in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I commanded thee this day for thy good? Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord's, thy God, the earth also with all that therein is. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after him, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your hearts, and be no more stiff necked. For the Lord your God is a God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, mighty and terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. He does not execute the judgment of the father. He doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, in giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God. Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy God, that hath done for thee these great and terrible things, which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down into Egypt with 60 persons, and now the Lord thy God hath made thee as the stars of heaven for multitude. Chapter 11. Therefore thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandment always. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his acts which he did in the midst of Egypt unto Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord hath destroyed them unto this day, and what he did unto you in the wilderness until ye came into this place, and what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the sons of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all their substance that was in their possession in the midst of all Israel. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord which he did. Therefore, you shall keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong, and go in and possess their land, whither ye go in to possess it, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. For the land whither thou goest in to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowest thy seed and waterest it with thy foot, as the garden of herbs. But the land whither ye go in to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, and a land which the Lord thy God careth for. The careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto all my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in its due season, the first rain and the latter rain, and thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thine oil. And I will send grass in thy fields for cattle, that thou mayest eat and be that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them, and then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the ground, from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Therefore shall ye lay up all these words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them to your children, speaking of them when you sittest in the house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates, that thy days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days in heaven upon the earth of heaven upon the earth. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to the Lord, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways and cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourself. Every place wherein your soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be. There shall be no man, and there shall no man able shall be able to stand before you. For the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command thee this day, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I commanded you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee into the land whither ye goest to possess it, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Mount Ebal. Are they not on the other side of Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the Champaign, over against Gilgal, besides the plains of Moreh? For ye shall for ye shall pass over the Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein, and ye shall observe to do all the statutes and the judgments which I set before you this day. Chapter 12. These are the statutes and the judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land which the Lord thy God of thy fathers giveth thee to possess it, all the days that ye live upon the earth. Ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills, and under every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars, and break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of the place. Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God, but unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither shall you come. And thither shall ye bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and your heave offerings of your hand, and your vows and your freewill offering, and the firstlings of the herds of your flocks. And there ye shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand into, ye and your households, wherein the Lord your God hath blessed thee. He shall not do after these all the things that we do here this day, every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. For ye are not as yet come to the rest and the inheritance which the Lord your God giveth you. But when you go over to Jordan and dwell in the land which the Lord your God giveth you to inherit, and when he giveth you rest from all your enemies around about, so that ye dwell in safety, then there shall be a place which the Lord your God shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. Thither shall ye bring all that I commanded you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes, and the heave offering of your hand, and your choice vows which ye vow unto the Lord. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God, ye and your sons and your daughters and your manservants and your maidservants, and the Levite that is within your gates, for as much as he hath no part inheritance with you. Take heed to thyself that thou offer not thy burnt offerings in every place that thou seest, but in the place which the Lord shall choose in one of thy tribes, there you shall offer thy burnt offerings, and there you shall do all that I commanded you. Notwithstanding, flesh. Thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lefteth after, according to the blessings of the Lord, thy God, which he hath given thee. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as the roebuck and as of the hart. Only ye shall not eat the blood; ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. Thou mayest not eat within the gates of thy tithe. Thou mayest not eat within the gates the tithe of thy corn, or the tithe of thy wine, or of thine oil, or of thy firstlings of thy herds, or of thy flock, nor any of the vows which thou vowest, nor thy freewill offerings, or heave offerings of thine hand. But thou mayest eat them before the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy maidservant and the Levite that is within thy gates, and thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God in all that thou puttest thy hands unto. Take heed to thyself that thou forsake not the Levite as long as thou livest upon the earth. When the Lord thy God shall enlarge thy border as he hath promised thee, and thou shalt say, I will eat flesh, because thy soul longeth to eat flesh. Thou mayest eat flesh, whatever thy soul lusteth after. If the place which the Lord thy God hath chosen to put his name there be too far from thee, then ye shall kill of thy herd and of thy flock which the Lord hath given thee, as I commanded thee, and thou shalt eat in thy gates whatever thy soul lusteth after. Even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, so thou shalt eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike. Only be sure that thou eatest not blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Thou shalt not eat it, thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may be well with thee and with thy children after thee, and when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. Only the holy things which thou hast and thy vows thou shalt take, and go unto the place that the Lord shall choose. And thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood upon the altar of the Lord thy God. And the blood of thy sacrifices shall be poured into out upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and thou shalt eat the flesh. Observe and hear all the words which I command thee, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee forever, when thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy God. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee, whether thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land, take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee, and thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do unto the Lord thy God. For every abomination that the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters have they burnt in the fire to their gods. What things soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it. Chapter 13. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or a wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or the dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your God proveth you, to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all of your soul. You shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreamers shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in, so that so shalt thou put that evil away from the midst of thee. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or thy wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go out and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto them, nor hearken unto them, neither shall thine eye pity them, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be the first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God. which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do more, do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. Excuse me. If thou shalt hear say in one of thy, if thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God hath given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of the city, saying, let us go and serve other gods which ye have not known. Thou shalt inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth, and the thing be certain, that such abomination is wrought among you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn the city, burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof with, and all this, and all. Let me start that over. I butchered that totally. Deuteronomy 13 and 16. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof, every whit, for the Lord thy God, and it shall be an heap forever. It shall not be built again, and there shall cleave naught of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and show thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, when thou shalt hearken to the voice of thy Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's going to conclude the reading. Next week we'll start with chapter 14 and go on from there. Continue reading these instructions that we were given. Praise Yah for that. Um, and that's going to conclude the reading, guys. I mean, I've seen some pretty interesting things in here that I've taken note of, and I would like to chop it up with you guys about. If there's anybody out there that's listening who would like to come on up and talk about what we've read so far, yeah, it could even stem back to Exodus 20 when we began reading all the instructions. Then that'd be fine. If not, then we're going to go ahead and close this thing out. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoy reading this Torah. I love talking about this Torah. I love talking about the Bible. You know, um, but it, I don't know what it does, man. It's just therapeutic to me. You know, some people might not understand it, but it's very therapeutic to me. You know, once I get in it, then I start getting in it, and it just every time I read something, it just causes me to think back on something that was said, up above in one of the later books, or even way back beyond to the beginning of the books. And it all kind of ties together. That's why I always say, man, this is definitely the living word, because it never dies, never dies. There isn't an era that I have seen where any of this stuff doesn't apply. Number one, because these spirits that's in here, the wicked spirits to the righteous spirits, you can see these in the people today. You know, just as we can see, the Most High's hand in these things today. From the plagues that's going on to where people don't, where we mistreat all of, where we just go against God. We can see where we suffer each time for it. You know, and that's amazing to me. You know, yes, the technology and everything else might change, but guess what? The word of the Lord stays the same. We don't have to guess. We can go dig deep back into it. It's going to say the same thing that it said yesterday. You know, it's not going to change. Our understanding might change, based on what we read and the more we study, but the word never changes. You know, we're the ones that need to change. Like earlier in here, it says we need to change our hearts, and that is His will for us. Put all this stuff in our hearts. Now, if there's anybody who would like to come on up, if then that's cool. If not, then God willing, we'll play another song. Haven't decided on which one that will be yet. Whether it be from our brother BA, fellow host, or whether it be another chime in from the sister BritYah, one of her selections. Anyway, guys, come on up. I'll put the link in the chat. If nobody wants to come up and talk, then we are going to go ahead and end the stream, and I will bid you guys um, a great rest of the Sabbath, guys. Okay, let's see. Come on up. Come on, chameleon.